Karen Burchill here, and I have my prompt cards. Yeah, let's get this right. Let's focus. Here that you've all seen kind of things. They have the different prompts, which I've also put on sticks that are categorized. But since I had these done, what I decided to do on the other side is to do different designs using different stamps and stencils and sayings and some of my different materials and media, and so the idea is that if I pick this, I can either go with the prompt that's on this side, or I could pull some kind of inspiration from this side, which is some little work of art that I have. And again, trying to use all my various media and get in there. And some of it is and stuff. Now some of them you've seen on YouTube or on Facebook and stuff. So today we're going to do another one where I'm going to use some of the various things that I did in my call-out card, my night with Yvonne and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my Inktense blocks. And I just discovered that these are amazing on these cards. Now I did gesso those cards ahead of time, which I think makes it possible for this all to work so completely well. It's a very fast, easy way to get interesting color on the background. And a little bit of rippage there. And you get some beautiful color blending happening there. Love the drippage. A little extra texture on the card. And there. So I find that when I came, and sometimes I don't feel like doing a whole lot in my room, but I want to putz around, and so I gessoed the backs of these cards, and I stamped out some of my sentiments, played around and did a few other things. Just, you know, getting things set so that when I, excuse me, when I get down to it, I can just come and create in a whole lot easier and quicker fashion. So that I used my Inktense Blocks 600, 200, 240, and 320. And as you can see, they blend beautifully with a little bit of water on them. So now I have some of these sheets that I had collected or created on deli paper using my homemade Martha Stewart pearl sprays, or metallic. And I'm just going to, you know, see which one I really like. And I'm thinking that this is it right there. Kind of like how that looks, and the texture that it gives me in there. before I do that, I am going to do a bit of a stamp with my black stays on, just to get a bit of a design underneath it. I'm going to use my homemade stamp here and just get a little bit of another layer. And there we have it. So I'm going to Mod Podge this down. And you know, you could just use this layer, and as you can see, the Inktense blocks are not bleeding, especially if you heat set them, you know, but I find in this application they do not need that. I'm going to put that on here. Get a little texture, a little swirl, and then back on the top. So my prompt cards, I have a deck of 52 of the prompts, and I probably have about 20 of them done at this stage. I just noticed that a lot of people, videos that I watch, Cat Hand and Packer Die and Mixed Media Gen, kind of seem to have all the stuff there, and they use their materials well. If they've got excess, they're always saving something for an upcoming project that's on the way. So I'm just going to cut that back. That can go back to the user pile for another project at some point in time. There we go. Just going to touch this up a little bit more. Always the edges seem some lovely, lovely, lovely texture going on there. Okay, now I'm thinking that I'm going to put some black along the edges. Always like how that kind of sets it off, some of the necessary step. By the way, do not throw these out. I'm learning the hard way. In there. So now I have this napkin that I picked up at the dollar store, and when you open it up, it is quite lovely, quite cute with the owls. Kind of liking a couple of these owls in here. I also bought some owl stamps, but I like the idea of adding a little bit more texture onto here. And we have that guy, and this one. Very finicky cutting and on here. Okay, I think that's about right. So I'm just gonna add more. Trying to debate whether I want to put a branch under their feathers, but I'm going for simple today. I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but the glimmer is still there quite nicely from the tissue paper and stuff. So that's looking lovely. I'm just going to dry that off quickly. Close match in there. Okay, and that's done. In my background night, I don't know if you can see, it says Hoot Hoot Hooray in there. So I think I'm just going to reuse that stamp, that cutout. I did it on strips of paper. That was from, I've got My Small Stamps. It was a deal we got at the drugstore. It was $1.49, so can't go wrong with that. Thank you to Yvonne Gaybauer for setting me on that road. And here. Okay, that's about right. Just going to reach over here and grab my Inktense pencils, and I'm going to grab the charcoal gray. And I just typically wet it on the edge of on my mat. And then go around just to bring out the details a little bit more. I tend to like my finger better than the aqua pens, so. In there. they tend to go right quite nicely over top of the Mod Podge or the gel medium. Quite nicely. And I have my Uniball Signo. Just going to add some little bit of details, make this stand out a little bit more. In there. And I think I'm just going to put a little bit more of the Martha Stewart bronze. I mean, if you can see, just to get a little bit more of a spritz. A little more dispersed. Okay, I'm still thinking about adding a branch for these little birds. Around the edge. And focus in. Yeah, I'm not great at this. I apologize. And hoot hoot hooray. Thank you.